You're listening to Weather with Enthusiasm. Thursday night, March 21st, 2024, Motzei Tanis Esther. We have one of the most exciting clipper systems that are moving through the upper Midwest. It's moving through the upper Midwest today, tonight, into tomorrow. One would ordinarily think, clippers are known for producing light or moderate snow. But this is a March clipper system, and in March, the evaporation rates are much higher. The sun is strong. That's the type of air that we have feeding into the system. So the Gulf moisture is limited, if we even have that. In fact, we have a very dry air mass over the Midwest right now, and it's taking many, many hours for the precipitation to actually reach the ground because of all the dry air. But once it does, the snow is much heavier than a typical clipper system, which tends to produce under 6 inches, even less than that. The Milwaukee National Weather Service tells us that a widespread 2 to 5 inches of snow could be expected. However, we have the frontogenesis-induced heavier snowfall rate, which it's not clear where that's going to set up tonight or tomorrow. But as of now, the current thinking is that it will be just north of the Illinois-Wisconsin state line. That area, whichever area is getting the frontogenesis-induced heavy snow, the Milwaukee National Weather Service believes that they will be getting 6 to 8 inches of snow. At the same time, there have been no winter storm warnings issued yet because it's really not clear where this is going to happen, so there's no particular county. Even though the current thinking is just north of the Illinois-Wisconsin state line, it still is not, there's not enough confidence in that to issue a winter storm warning. So we have snow, a significant snow, especially for a clipper system, which was originally being referred to as an Alberta clipper. If you were to judge the storm by the barometric pressure, you would not notice that this is a storm of any intensity at all. The barometric pressure is 29.8, nothing too significant. But the other dynamics associated with the system is quite significant. This storm system will be producing heavy snow, heavy at times for some places. Milwaukee will get its heaviest snowfall tomorrow morning. The Chicago area remains really in jeopardy as regarding whether the snow will fall or not. And in fact, current thinking is that the frontogenesis-induced snowfall from the east to west oriented front will be missing Chicago, but Chicago has a better chance of getting the snowfall, the heavier snowfall or the heavier precipitation rate from the cold frontogenesis part, which would be from a southwest to northeast oriented line moving through the Chicago area for tomorrow afternoon. At that time, temperatures are likely to be well above freezing. So, for the accumulations, even for it to be falling as snow is in question, although the current thinking is that eventually will change over to snow. Some forecasters do believe that. Okay, let's move on to the next system because the next storm system is super significant. A total powerhouse storm, even by the judgment of barometric pressure alone, of a 29.2 develops just to the west of the Colorado Rockies, just to the east of the Colorado Rockies. This is right now over the Pacific Ocean. It moves on shore, and as usual, these storms weaken as they move over the Colorado Rockies, but they gather strength again as they move just to the east. A very strong southerly low-level jet of warm, humid air coming off the Gulf of Mexico. Now, the reason why it's so strong is because there's a tight gradient in between the high pressure, which will be probably over the Great Lakes, and this low pressure, a very tight gradient, which is just going to bring air from the deep south all the way up. Dew points are not expected to get that high, but nonetheless, a high impactful event with a severe weather outbreak, in fact, is even in the making, with even tornadoes possible Sunday, Monday, even Tuesday, for the lower Mississippi River Valley into the central Mississippi River Valley, probably including St. Louis on Monday or so. But in regarding the snowstorm, the current thinking is that a blizzard could very well be developing on the backside of the system with a solid 6 to 12 inches of snow. The snow is likely to eventually become heavy and wet. The initial snow, this is unique. Usually the end snow is the powdery snow. In this system, the initial snow is expected to be powdery, turning into a heavy, wet snow, and then the accumulations become complicated once you get past the 6-inch mark due to compression, or a better word is compact. As the snow falls, it will, it weighs heavily on the snow on top of it, and it causes the snowpack to shrink a little bit. So whatever the models are saying, the amount of snow actually on the ground is going to be less, perhaps even significantly less. Nonetheless, there's a very good chance for a significant widespread area to receive 12 inches of snow, perhaps even more, and this will be a heavy, wet snow. Blowing snow is also a concern. The North Platte, Nebraska National Weather Service is putting an emphasis on the strong winds for that area, with 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts or more expected. For them, the precipitation will likely start off as rain, with even mild temperatures over much of Nebraska. Precipitation eventually changes over to snow and blowing snow, heavy snow, by Monday morning before the system ends. But right now, Minneapolis looks to be pretty close to the bullseye, at least borderline bullseye, 6 inches or more, perhaps even 12 inches. The National Weather Service of Minneapolis believes that a good chance that a large portion of that area will be receiving 12 inches and more. 12 inches or more. The Bismarck, North Dakota, believed yesterday there would be a widespread 12 inches or more. Now they're thinking that 12 inches will be more isolated for that area. But 6 to 12 inch area of a heavy, wet snow seems very reasonable with this strong storm system with possible higher amounts. AccuWeather is putting a bullseye of 12 to 18 inches, which will cover portions of Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, Iowa. I believe it's Iowa as well. And that's the story. Now, in case you think winter's over, another storm system bringing wintry precipitation is headed for the upper Midwest for the end part of next week. It's so interesting. Just when spring starts, that's when all of these storms are springing up. That's 3 storms within a week, which will be falling, bringing snow to an area which has seen close to record minimal snow amounts. We spoke about yesterday how Minneapolis, as of yesterday, saw 14.3 inches of snow so far this year. The record minimal snow is 14.2, set in 1930, but now they have plenty more snow. Nonetheless, their average snowfall is 51 inches, so they have quite a way to go before they reach that. The Chicago area is holding 10 inches below normal. The Chicago area might not be getting any snow from any system except for a minor inch or so from, there could be some snow with the system for tomorrow. Probably no snow accumulation for Sundays, but some flurries possible there. The New England area also gets hit pretty hard with at least 2 snowstorms out of all of this, perhaps even more. So they're going to be catching up on their snow totals over there. It should be pointed out that March 25th into March 26th has been a date of very significant snowstorms here in the Midwest. In fact, one of Chicago's top 10 snowstorms occurred March 25th into March 26th. The remarkable thing over here is really that we have an Alberta Clipper. This is a Clipper system which originated from southwest Canada, and the Milwaukee National Weather Service right now is forecasting that there will be areas, they don't know where, but there will be an area that will be getting 6 to 8 inches from this Clipper system. And the only real way to explain this is the month of March, where things are supercharged in the month of March just due to higher evaporation rates. Normally, in order to get 6 inches of snow or more here in the Midwest, you need that Gulf moisture. Without it, you don't have it. But this time around, we have March supercharged storms. It does look like really the max, despite what the Milwaukee National Weather Service is saying. It does seem like if you look at the Minneapolis National Weather Service and you look at what's been happening up until now, it does seem like 5 to 6 inches has been the max. It fell a little bit further south than what both the Bismarck and the Minneapolis National Weather Service thought would happen, a little bit further south, but the max was between 5 and 6 inches. Current thinking also is that there could be lake effect snow here in the Chicago area, especially for the south suburbs, as we go into tomorrow night. That's something unique, especially for the end of March. Arctic air comes in behind this system. The North Platte, Nebraska National Weather Service is very clear at describing the origins of the air mass. It's an Arctic air mass bringing very cold air. If you look at the European computer model, it really looks Arctic, like big time. Just coming, the winds are, they're just coming straight down all the way from the north. It doesn't look like there's any real Pacific push over here at all. And one would think, actually, that temperatures would get even colder than what is currently forecasted based upon the Arctic origins of this air mass. But as we pointed out yesterday, the forecasts actually are quite cold when you get into North Dakota. As of yesterday, we had AccuWeather forecasts calling for portions of North Dakota to drop below zero. Very, very significant stuff. That would be happening by Monday or Tuesday morning behind that storm system. A strong storm system could certainly bring down a very solid cold air. And then if you have a strong snowpack along with light winds and clear skies at night, you get maximum radiational cooling, which could cause temperatures to drop 10 or 15 degrees colder in those locations than what would ordinarily happen. We've had temperatures in Aurora, Illinois, under snowy conditions and clear skies drop down to 20 below zero, whereas Chicago remained near zero, so you can get even a 20-degree difference at times. Anyways, I wish everybody a Freiliche Purim. There will be places that will be getting a truv and a half a chul in the weather. Things totally upsy-turbsy as we head into spring. The warm weather comes to an end for the upper Midwest, and winter really takes over. Nonetheless, they did dodge quite a bullet because a winter takeover at the end of March is totally different than January. I wish everybody a wonderful weekend. Have a great Shabbos and a Freiliche Purim. You've been listening to Weather with Enthusiasm. This podcast can be found on almost every platform where podcasts are available.